Listen, we all know it's a buyer's market right now. And with all this tariff talk and trade war stuff, it's not looking good right now. So people are letting go of their portfolio, but there's still opportunities out there. So according to districtlending.com, these are the top 10 cities to invest in. Tampa, Florida; Boise, Idaho; Charlotte, North Carolina; Phoenix, Arizona; Dallas, Texas; Nashville, Tennessee; Salt Lake City, Utah; Raleigh, North Carolina; Atlanta, Georgia; Austin, Texas. Now, some of you know I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina, aka Queen City, BKA Bud City, home of the Charlotte Hornets. Very disappointing team, but hey, I still love them. But as far as me being here, I can tell you straight up, finding cash flow inside of Charlotte is extremely tough. Now, buying your primary residence, it will probably turn out for the better, more than likely, because the way Charlotte is growing. And I noticed this trend in all of the major cities. And most of these cities where I have friends and associates located in, they will tell you inside these cities that it's hard to find cash flow because of the pricing of the house. So for example, let's say you buy a house for $300,000 in Charlotte, North Carolina, and that gets you a 1,200 square foot, 3-bedroom, 1-bath house. All right, and that house will rent for $1,800. Well, I will, and I teach my students to at least, do the 1% rule. Like, hey, if you all in $300,000, it should rent for $3,000. But being that Charlotte is so expensive, these deals are harder to come across. So I wanted to talk about the strategy with these top 10 cities. The key is you want to invest in the outskirts of these places. All right, the outskirts of major cities. So my last few rentals have been 30 and 45 minutes on the outskirts of Charlotte. And I'm buying at one price, and then 2-3 years later, it's going up significantly. The reason being is because of all the growth. People can't afford to live in these major cities due to housing. So what happens? Now they got to move on the outskirts of these major cities. Now what happens in the outskirts? They start to build houses. They start to build apartment complexes. The city invests into their downtown area, bringing entertainment, restaurants, dressing it up, bringing life into these downtown areas. If you're not inside of a major city in the South, then a lot of these downtown areas look like old cowboy movies from the 1800s. I'm just being real, man. So, now fast forward, especially in the outskirts of Charlotte, they building luxury apartment complexes in these places that used to like the 1800s. They are upgrading their city facilities and things of that nature because of all the growth. So as far as, with the strategy that you need to use, you don't have to look inside these cities. You can go in the outskirts of these cities, within 30 to 45 minutes. Because of the people who live in these cities, they now have to commute in. I remember when I first moved down south from New Jersey, people would complain about a 20-minute commute to work when I first moved down here. Coming from Jersey, that was 45 minutes, an hour to get to work. That's a normal thing up there. But now it's becoming a normal thing where people are like, hey, I'm going to just commute, because if I go 45 minutes outside the city for $300,000, I can get 1,600 square feet with the garage. Whereas in Charlotte for $300,000, you're probably looking, you're looking at 3-bedroom, 1-bath houses. Not saying you can't get a 3-2, but you got to look at the school zones and everything else that people have to make decisions when buying a house. So, and let me tell you how I implemented this, right? I bought a duplex, let's say 30 minutes from Charlotte, and I bought it at 140. I put about 30 into it. Today, that same duplex Now I bought it. Let's say I bought it in 2022. That same duplex today is worth $325,000. Come on, man. So listen, all I did was find the opportunity on the outskirts and execute it. So yes, are there opportunities out there? They absolutely are. But don't look inside of these major cities to buy your rental properties. What you want to do is you want to create a plan on the outskirts, right? And you want to be able to implement property management. You have to have good property management. So let me break that down to you. If you have to know what asset class you're buying in. Let's say we're going to have A, B, C, D. A being upscale areas. B, upper middle class. C, middle class. D, low income environments, aka the hood, etc. Do not get that property manager from the upscale areas to try to manage that unit in the lower income area, the D level, because that A-level property management company does not know how to deal with that tenant, and it's going to be too much friction. Now, I've seen some of these guys go into these low-income neighborhoods and start and focusing on credit and don't understand why people are applying for these houses to live in with 400 and 500 credit scores. You know, because they don't understand the working poor. You have to get a property management company. If you're in a D level, get a property management company that can manage D-level properties. If you're in C level, ideally, get somebody who can manage C-level properties. Now, I have seen this. I have seen a D-level property management company manage an A-level property management house. But the A-level guy cannot manage the D stuff, and they're not too good with the C stuff. All right, the A-level guy can typically just do A and B because they are strict on their credit criteria and everything else. But the D-level guy understands that, listen, you have no eviction in the last 5 years. I had the same job for 5 years or same industry for 5 years. Everything checks out. Listen, you move about every 7-8 years. So everything checks out. You're a perfect candidate for this because you want those tenants, right, who will look at your stuff like a home. And the reason being, they look at it as a home, they take care of it like a home. And they stay there. When you're renting single family properties, at bare minimum, ideally, you want to get like 5 to 7 years out of this guy. Bare minimum 5 years you want to get, but 6 to 7 years out of these tenants. The reason being, as a landlord, your highest cost is turnover. All right? You got a lot of guys out there preaching, hey, cash flow, $200 a month, that's good. Well, let's say I teach my students to go after more, but let's say $200 a month, let's say that is okay, right? Well, what happens is that is $2,400 a year, net profit, everything goes right? But let's say the person moves out and it costs you $5,000 to refurbish the unit. Bro, it's going to take you over 2 years and some change, bro, to recoup back that $5,000. So you want to keep a tenant in there as long as possible. Now, not everything goes well with rentals. Check out this video next to me where the person died inside my house. Hey, I'm Nasser, aka the real estate guru. I'm not a guru, I'm a doer because I actually do this business. Peace.